Hello guys, thank you for watching another episode of clanwarstrategies.com, where we talk all about clan war. This is your host, I'm Keith. Now since the addition of poison spell, dragon is like the most common troop that you'll face in your war. So in this video, I'm going to show you how you're going to take out enemy dragon in less than 50 seconds. As you can see now, I have most of my wizards in, and it's going to engage the enemy. It's taking down the balloon now. Next is the dragon to go. Now, oh, I thought you're supposed to take out the dragon. Well, this is not the video. This is actually an example what will happen to your attack if you do not handle that dragon. I know a lot of people choose not to do it because they think it's complicated and they're afraid they will make a mess out of things. So to make that easy for you, I've included 6 simple steps that you can follow and practice. And if you master it, you'll be able to take out enemy dragon in less than 50 seconds easily. Guys, let me just use this space to show you how the 6th step is done. Before we get started, let's talk about the troop composition that we need to do these steps. We're going to require 5 to 7 barbarians. If you are new to this, I recommend you carry more than 7. And in the next part, you're going to require 1 archer and 3 wizards. Now these wizards can be from your main attacking troop because they won't be sacrificed in this process. Once they're done with the dragon, they can go in and continue with your main attacking troops. Now let us move on to the first step, which is the trigger step. In this step, we are going to bring out the dragon from enemy clan castle. In the case here, we can just use 1 barbarian or archer to do it because the clan castle is quite exposed. In other cases where the clan castle placement is quite deep, you might want to consider using giants or hogs. In our case here, we are just going to use 1 barbarian to do the job. Now, since the clan castle dragon and other troops are out, you are going to go into the second step, which is to pull them away from the base, far as possible from other defensive structures. Usually is any of the 4 corners. And you also want to choose a site which is closer to the clan castle just to save some time, and in the same time you also want to start from a site where you're going to commence your attack so that your wizards can move in and join the attack. We can do this by deploying an archer to pull them. Since the dragon and the balloon has a different movement speed, sometimes they might end up spacing too far from each other. You might need to deploy another 1 or 2 more barbarians at the corner just to bring them closer to each other. Once they're at the corner, it is time for the third step, which is to deploy your spell. It is an optional, you don't need to do this if you don't want to, but I really recommend to drop a poison spell on them because it will reduce the dragon and the balloon's attack speed a lot. So this creates a space for you to distract them easier. Now, once your poison spell is down, immediately go into the 4th step, is to distract. Deploy your barbarians right in front of the dragon to distract it, in the same time followed by your wizards in 3 separate locations to kill the dragon. Once your dragon is done with the barbarian, immediately deploy a few more right in front of it, which goes into our 6th step to further distract it. You continue this process until the dragon is taken out. The key here is to keep your dragon occupied so that it won't kill your wizards. Now here is another example with the same steps. First we start with trigger. This time we go with a hawk because it is a bit deep clan castle placement. Realize there is actually a wild crit and a minion. So we go into the second pull step, which you can see because they have a different movement speed, the gap is quite wide between them, so we might need to use another 1 or 2 more barbarian just to close the gap. Once they are close enough, we go into the 3rd step, which is the spell, followed by the 4th step, distract, and the wizards to kill, which is the 5th step. Now realize that once the barbarian is out, immediately we go with the 6th step to distract it until the dragon is taken out. Alright guys, one last example before we wrap things up. We start with trigger. Followed by the 2nd step, which is pull. Third step, poison spell. Now we're gonna do the fourth step differently this time. We're gonna be using witches instead of barbarians. This is because her skeleton is more effective in distracting enemy dragons. And we follow with the fifth step, which is the kill. Drop in your wizards and they'll do the job. Now since the skeletons are so effective in distracting enemy dragons, sometimes you don't even need to do the sixth step, which is the further distract. The only drawback is witches can be expensive at times and you require your clanmates to donate to you if you're Clown Hall 8. That basically wraps things up. I wish this video can help you in your further attacks. And if you like my video, kindly subscribe to my channels, leave your comments below, and share this with your clanmates. Thank you again for watching, and stay tuned for more Clan War videos.
Go!